What's up, y'all? It's your girl Shay, and we are back to talk about Sisters on BET. Okay, now we ain't talking about the team of the night. I'm gonna talk about that tomorrow. I know I ain't give y'all review last week, but we gonna talk about the team of two. We're gonna go back live for that. I might just record that one. But Sisters, I didn't give y'all review last week because the show just wasn't giving what it needed to give for me. And this week, it didn't really give what I needed it to give too, because I just feel like we're about to be on a roller coaster of never gonna get it, never gonna get it, ever gonna get it information. All right, let's just get into it, shall we?
Y'all ever want to just say it with your chest without saying it with your words? Well, here's your chance to do it. Click the link below or visit www.shayrenee.net and pick the design that fits what you have to say today.
Can't ball in my life, man. Go on with it, go on with it. Do us. So we are coming with a force. Yeah, blessing the reap and we coursing on.
All right, y'all. So we're going to breeze through episode 1 real quick so we can get into episode 2, because episode 1, like I told y'all, it wasn't given. Okay. So in episode 1, this is where Andy and Fatima are talking in the office, and then Fatima looks a little flustered. So Andy is like, "What's wrong with you?" And she reveals that basically Gary called, Andy a bitch. Okay. So Fatima was upset over that. And Andy was like, "He called me a what?" Because she was telling her how he came in there and he said, "I'm coming to see my lawyer." And Fatima was like, "Well, Andy is busy. So, I mean, what? Basically, like, we ain't about to be fooling with you today, Gary. We don't got time for your stuff." He said, "Oh, I'm not here to see that," or whatever. And so Fatima was like, ugh. So she goes and tells Andy. So Andy walks her tail over to Hayden's office. And come to find out, Hayden is in there trying to convince Gary that he's going to win this case if he goes ahead and sues Andy for the apartment that he bought her, or whatever, the penthouse in the Sky High that he bought Andy, okay, to try to win her affections back. So he going to sue her for the car, the crib, and everything, and pain and suffering. Okay, so Andy is pissed over this, and she's just like, "Are you kidding me? Like, why are you doing this?" So eventually they talk, and child, it was long and drawn out, longer than it needed to be. And she eventually just agrees that she's going to go ahead and give him the stuff back. She gonna sell the penthouse or whatever. He can have it back. She gonna, she's like, "Well, I don't have my apartment anymore, but just give me the interest or whatever the taxes that she paid on the stuff." And so they gonna move on. I'm just like, whatever. Okay. So anyway, Karen is at the doctor's office, not finding out who the damn baby daddy is. Tyler Perry, who is the daddy? Who is him? Now, I'm tired of this. I'm not going to wait 5 seasons until the baby comes out to figure out who the daddy is. This is too. Moving on. So she in the office, her stomach is cramping. She got an attitude. Okay. She's flustered. Pam is trying to calm her down. And of course, she's treating Pam like crap, like she normally does. Okay. Moving on. She's asked, Karen, what's her name? Pam is asking if Karen wants her to call Zach. Then she's like, "Oh, well, do you want me to call Aaron?" Because at this point, she's just making light of the fact that don't nobody know who the baby daddy is at this point. Okay. So Pam says, "You know what? I don't want to upset you," because Karen is getting all nasty and stank with Pam, which I'm like, "Karen, you be getting real shisty and feisty with people. Somebody gonna slap the shit out you. That's all I'm gonna say." But whatever. She's mad. Pam walks out and goes outside because she don't want to piss her off no more. So then Karen's mom calls, and her mom is like, she can tell that something is wrong with Karen. She was like, "Where are you?" And then Karen ends up telling her she's at the hospital. So her mom says she's on the way. So back at the office, this is where Gary and Hayden were talking. I just kind of skipped ahead. because it's just like whatever. Don't nobody care about that. So they got him. This is where Andy and Gary had that conversation. They get all emotional. Like I said, she gonna give him the stuff back. Moving on. Q is still breathing. Okay, I don't know why he's still here, but he's still breathing, and he's at Maurice and Calvin's apartment, living his best life, with his feet under their table and using all their amenities and living his best life after he done snitched on Sabrina, was so-called he framed Sabrina and Maurice. Okay, so he's at the house. He done cooked up, he talks to the cop guy, I forgot his name, the cop from the airport, and he basically confirms with him that he's going to stay out of trouble. He just got to get a job, and all will be well for him because he gave up the culprits, which are Sabrina and Maurice. So he's happy. So Calvin walks in, and Q and cooked up a whole meal, which I would not eat anything that this man is cooking. I don't understand why y'all are eating his food. I don't get it. So Calvin is mesmerized by the food. He don't know where Maurice is, but Maurice is calling from jail on Calvin, calling Calvin's phone. And Calvin is like, I don't know nobody in jail. Why they calling me? So Q, when Calvin turns around, turns his ringer down so that he won't see Maurice calling him anymore. So anyway, this is a wasted scene. I don't even know why we're even talking about Q and why he's even here, because this just doesn't make any sense. It's starting to get like it's starting to feel to me like the writing on this show, we're running out of things to talk about, which you shouldn't be running out of things to talk about. Should be a very successful show, but I think we're taking a dive down foolishness lane, like dragging scenes out, having scenes that don't make any sense. Like this whole scene where at the airport this couple was arguing back and forth in front of Danny. Like we didn't even need that. It's giving, hey, I'm Tyler Perry, and I'm gonna let you be on one of my shows. So I'm gonna just write you a quick little scene in the show. But you're wasting our time, because the people that you're putting in these shows, not saying that that's what he really did, but that's what it's given for me. Like I feel like he's just adding extra characters that we're just like, why is this even happening right now? But anyway, Karen's mom comes to the hospital, and she basically tells her mama that she's pregnant and she don't know who the daddy is. Okay. So she reveals that she wants the baby to be Zach's because she still loves him. Her mom tells some story about Karen's dad. Karen was like, I thought you couldn't stand my father. And she was like, oh, I loved your dad very much. But, the only reason is because I got you out of it. So, that's what made me love him. Blah, blah, blah. Karen, nobody cares. You're not going to get Zach. Like, leave it alone. Stop trying to be with him. Why would anybody want to be with somebody that talks to somebody like you do? Why? Why? Like, even if you wanted to be with Zach, the way that you act and the way that you treat him shows that that is a lie. You just want to control him. And I don't know in what warped sense of the world, I don't know who Tyler Perry done dated. Let me just say this, because these characters that he's created in Andy, Danny, and Sabrina, I don't get them. I've never met any of these women in my life. I don't have any friends that are as dumb as Andy. Absolutely not. I don't have any friends that are as stupid as Danny, because they're trying to make Danny seem like she's so sage. She gives all this great advice, but she keeps throwing away good men. And honestly, she's not even worthy of them because she don't have shit going on in her life. So you got men that want to love you and want to be with you, but you actually are not worthy of them, is what I'm getting from her character. Then you have Sabrina, that's this whimsical, responsible, flowy dress wearing person that I don't even know what's going on with Sabrina. Like, you willing to accept anything from Calvin, but then you really don't want it. And now you out here searching still. I don't know. I've never met any women like these women in my life. I don't know, but whatever. Moving on. So yeah, this boring scene with Karen and her mom. So Fatima is leaving work and gives the front desk lady some files. Andy comes out. Fatima asks what happened, and Andy says they will talk later about the situation with Hayden and Gary in the office. So Zach walks in and he's kind of whisking Fatima away. Hayden walks in as Fatima and Zach are there, and he's like, "Do you want to get locked up again? Because you're not supposed to be in here and close to me." And so they ignore him. And Andy is like, just let it go. Robin said so. You need to let it go. So Hayden says, this ain't over. So they leave out. So anyway, moving on, Danny is at work and some annoying couple. This is the couple that I was telling y'all about earlier that is just like, why are we even talking? Why is this couple even on the show? Like this whole scene right here could have been cut out so we can find out who Karen baby daddy is. That's what we need to know. Is she still pregnant? Who's the baby daddy? Let's just figure this all out because this is ridiculous. I don't get it. So anyway, it's an annoying couple. The lady calls Danny a bitch. Moving on, this whole scene was a waste of time. So Aaron goes to the salon asking where Karen is. Of course, Pam isn't going to tell her where she is. So then Andy eventually walks in too, and she looking for Karen. So he's like, "You looking for Karen? I'm looking for Karen." Pam, you got to know something, but she ain't about to tell neither one of us nothing. So they go in the back and talk. So Andy is like, "Listen, you just need to give Karen some space. I know my friend, like, you need to give her some space." Like, she's basically giving him some advice, telling him that he's a little too overbearing where it comes to Karen. But here's my thing, he's not being overbearing, he's being a man that knows what he wants. He loves her. He's going after her. But here I'm also on the other side of, if somebody is not giving you back what you're, if there's no give and take, she's not taking what you're giving. You're wasting it all on somebody that is not even worthy of your time or your energy. Like, I feel like Aaron is doing it seemed too much to be with Karen. And she not worth it, honestly. She really isn't worth it. Like, I feel like he needed to just leave her alone. But of course, he wants a job on this show, so the character is the character. But I think she don't deserve him. So anyway, Aaron says, Aaron and Andy are basically talking, and he's like, you should get a better, they start talking about Gary somehow. Andy, of course, has to make it about herself. She coming in looking for her friend, but then all of a sudden they end up talking about damn Gary. So she's like, yeah, he's trying to sue me, and you did you tell him to sue me? Your advice is terrible that you're giving him, because apparently Aaron is supposed to be like his spiritual guide or whatever, and he ain't been taking none of the daggone Aaron's advice. So Andy is getting on his back about it. He was like, no, I didn't tell him to do any of that. But then Aaron says, well, you need to understand his mom, like how his mom treated him or whatever. And maybe you would get a better understanding of his, you got to understand his past to get to know him. And Andy was like, I know stuff about his family and his past, but that still doesn't give him the right to treat me the way that he treats me or whatever. So anyway, Andy interrogates Pam again before they leave out of the office, and Pam isn't budging. So she ends up calling Karen and leaving a voicemail again. So moving on. Zach takes Fatima back to where she hit him with her car. It's a very nostalgic moment. Like, they are reminiscing, and he's being all, romantical and things. I was like, child, are you about to propose right here? But we all know that on Zatima is where he proposes. But I was just like waiting on him to get down on one knee, all this heartfelt stuff that he was talking about. And he's like, just think, if I was on time for work, if I was late for work that day, or you were on time for work, you would have never hit me, and we would have never, been where we are now. And basically it professes his love to her. And, you know, he tells her to close her eyes and think of her ideal man, and hopefully when she opens them she'll be thinking about him. And she was like, I don't need to close my eyes because you are the man you are the man for me. All right, moving on. So Sabrina at the jailhouse, child, and the lady tells her to take off her clothes and take her hair out. I'm like, child, Tyler Perry, when you go to jail they don't tell you to take your braids out, honey. They don't tell you to take your braids out, Tyler Perry. Why would this lady be telling this girl to sit there and take her hair out? That wasn't even a joke that was funny. It was a waste of a sentence that could have been used to tell us who Karen's baby daddy is. Like, we have dragged this out all last season. We already 2 episodes in and we still don't know what the fuck. Okay, I cannot. So anyway, Sabrina in the jailhouse, she mad and she want to call her lawyer, child. Okay, and the damn um the cop was being a bitch. Whatever. Moving on. Danny calls Sabrina and Preston walks up. He tells her he loves her and he knows he messed up and he got some bad advice and all this stuff. But then he tells her about this girl named Mindy that loved him so much. They were dating for years. He's known her since elementary school and they've been dating all these years. And he came to wherever they at from where he from. You know, he moved to Atlanta, I guess, because he wanted to see what else was out there before he decided to, he wanted to sow his royal oats, if you will, so he can see if he really need to be marrying old Mindy. So he finds Danny and he falls madly in love with her, but he's so confused because, he doesn't know if she wants him, but he wants her to tell him not to go back and marry whatever her face is. No, I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead. That's in episode 2. But he tells her he gonna go marry the chick. So Danny gets teary-eyed and he goes on and walks off like he about to go get on a plane so he can go marry Mindy. So moving on, now we're in episode 2. So we still hear Preston is back at the counter and he's telling Danny that he wants her to say, no, don't go marry Mindy. Don't marry that hoe. I love you. Okay. And Danny is stubborn. She's not going to say that. She begins to cry. She's upset. I'm like, girl, you know you want to be with this man. Why do you keep playing all these games? Like, they keep on trying to paint Danny as some Erica Badu, and you're not. You're not sage. You don't give great advice. You're not the smartest. Like, I don't understand why they keep trying to make Danny seem like she's so mature, but she's not. She's very immature. You keep playing all these mind games with this man. This man is here telling you that he loves you and he want to be with you, and you still playing games like, well, why didn't you tell me about this girl all this time? I didn't need to tell you about her because I'm here looking for someone like you. I found you. I'm telling you right now, I want to be with you. Like, what part of this don't you understand? So Danny is just like, well, if that's what you want to do, go ahead, go marry her. I mean, whatever. She's like, and then why do you want to do this at work? Like, you're doing this at my job. Well, bitch, you wasn't answering the phone when he was calling you. And when he came to your apartment, you were rude as hell. When was he supposed to profess his love to you? He done paid your rent, was cooking dinner for you, doing all these things to wine and dine you to show you that he loves you, and nothing is ever good enough for you. You know what, Preston? Get on the plane. Get on the plane because she is dumb as a box of rocks. You don't want to deal with her, okay? Forget Danny. So Preston's like, well, I'll wait till you get off work. Basically you begging her to want you to stay, sir. Leave Danny alone, Preston. She is not worth your time or energy. So she's like, no, just go. Just go. I don't want you to wait. Just go. So he leaves. I don't know if he got on the plane, child, or went back to the farm to wait for her to get off work. I don't know what Preston did. So moving on, the passenger with the crazy ex that was sitting there, that called Danny a bitch earlier, the wasted scene from the last episode that I feel like is even more wasted now. He gets up, he's like, yeah, I'm sorry that that's going on for you, especially at work. He's trying to console Danny. Danny is crying, blah, blah, blah. He ends up shooting his shot at the end, telling her, here's my number. Call me if you want to hang out. First of all, you here with your ex-wife that just cussed me out. I'm not trying to be dealing with you because you got to deal with her for the rest of your life because you have a kid with her. I'm not trying to be dealing with that. I already see what you got going on. It's a no for me, dog. Okay? It's a no for me. But of course, Danny gets all googly-eyed, like, oh, he's nice. He's trying to talk to me. I'm like, girl, you are so dumb. I don't want you to hear. I don't want to hear you say nothing about Andy. You are so dumb because you are so like entrenched in foolishness. I wouldn't even be entertaining this man. I don't care how nice he seems. No. Thanks, but I'm good. Thank you for the conversation here, but that's where it'll end. That's what I would have told him. Moving on, Karen's at the hospital and her mom goes to find the doctor. She runs into Pam in the hallway, and Pam basically is coming back up there to check on Karen because she went back to the hair salon. She closed it up. Now she want to come and make sure Karen is good. But now that she sees that her mama is there, she like, I'm gonna go ahead and head on out because yeah, your daughter been being a bitch. So I don't want to hear her try to cuss me out no more. So I'm going to go ahead and head on out since you here. You handle it. And Miss Lisa was like, go ahead in there and talk to her. I'm gonna go find the doctor. So Pam goes in there to talk to Karen, and Karen is being a stank, you know what, to her as soon as she comes in. And Pam is like, I just want to make sure you were okay and come and check on you. I closed down the salon. And of course, Andy and Aaron came by looking for you, and I didn't tell them what happened. But I just want you to know they were looking for you. So then Karen gets an attitude instantly again. Okay. And then she says, well, did you tell anybody that I was in here? And Pam was like, no, I didn't tell anybody that you were here. So she's like, you want me to tell anybody? You want me to call Aaron and Andy? And she says, well, don't tell them that I told you to call them, but yeah, you can call them. I'm like, Karen, you are on some BS. You play so many games. Like, it's unreal. It's absolutely stupid. So then she tells her to call Zach too. And I'm like, girl, find out if this his baby, this episode, okay? Because I'm about sick and tired of you and this baby, okay? I'm just saying. Who we got in this? My Life says, oh, what's up, y'all? My Life says, thanks for catching me up on the episodes. Yes, thank you for watching. Latasha Hutt says, hello, everyone. My Life, hi. My Life, right. Yeah, Karen, I can't with Karen. It's too much. Like, she's ultimately annoying. So anyway, she want Pam to call them because she don't want, she want to act like she don't care, and she want to be in here being an asshole to everybody, which I was pregnant before, and I don't know why people want to make it seem like a baby make you this angry. Don't no baby make you act like that. If you an evil bitch, you just an evil bitch. Like, a baby don't make you do that. Okay. So anyway, she ends up, Zach and Fatima come back from their little date or whatever. So Pam agrees to call everybody and let them know what's going on. But in the next scene, Zach and Fatima come back from their date. He's rubbing her feet, and he gets a call from Pam as they're trying to wind down and watch a movie and chill. So Pam tells him ultimately that Karen is in the hospital, and Zach is like, okay, so what you want me to do? Like, is she okay? She's like, well, the doctor hasn't said anything yet. Like, we're still waiting on information. And Zach is like, okay, well, who's up there? She says, well, I'm hearing her mom. And he's like, okay, cool. Well, y'all good. Whatever. Let me know what happens. Like, he's basically off some, I don't even know if this is my baby. I don't really care about what Karen got going on. I'm here with my woman. I'm trying to get it in. I ain't got time to be dealing with Karen and her foolishness tonight. Okay. She ain't going to ruin my life tonight. Okay. So Pam is like, you don't even care? Like, you're not going to come up here? He's like, no, I'm not coming up there. So he gets off the phone, and Fatima's like, what's happening? What's going on? He's like, no, I don't want nothing to ruin our night. Then he ends up telling Fatima that Karen is in the hospital. She's like, well, you should go up there and check on her. And he's like, hell no, I'm not going up there. I want to be here with you. So she's like, but that's messed up. I don't want her to think that, we don't care or whatever. And he's like, I absolutely don't care about what's going on. Her mama is there. When the doctor comes in and tells her what's going on, then we'll see what's going on. But right now, I have nothing to do with that. Like, whatever. She can call the preacher man. So then Tima's like, okay, she lets it go. So then they start hearing loud music from Deja, which is the tenant that Zach has living in his duplex next door. Now, if you guys don't watch Zatima, if you watch Zatima, you know who Deja is. Deja is the stripper girl that do nails during the day or whatever. She's living in the duplex next door, and she constantly is trying to come on to Zach. So you can tell that from when he calls Deja and tells her to turn the music down. She's like, "Oh, you want me to come? You coming over here? You want me to come over there?" And he's like, "No, Deja." So Fatima got to get on the phone like, "Turn the damn music down." I'm like, "Oh Lord," because Fatima told Zach that Deja was gonna be hitting on him, and she does. Excuse me, y'all. So obviously, that's what Deja was doing. So moving on, Gary calls Andy and asks if he can come see her. Okay. She says, using some quote from Why Did I Get Married? She's like, you can come on over only if you write a list. You got to write a list of what's good in our relationship and what's bad. And I'm like, why are you even entertaining this fool? Why? Why, Andy? You have Robin that has a plane, his own business. He seems emotionally stable for the most part. He a little freak, but I would rather deal with him than Gary. Okay. But yet you keep holding on to this militant midget, Gary. I don't understand. Why don't you let that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle go? I'm so tired of him. It's like Tyler Perry. I'm telling you, he probably has an issue with firing people. He really does. He can't let people go. He cannot let my people go. He like put him on another show. Like you did Andy's real boyfriend or fiance now, her fiance in real life. He on All the Queen's Men. Put him on another show. Like, I don't understand this whole Andy and Gary thing. So they gonna write a list and they gonna meet up at 8 o'clock. Moving on. What y'all talking about? My life says that's not his baby. Girl, I hope it's not his baby because this whole Karen, Zach, and Fatima story, I am done. I'm so over it. My life says, oh my God, I'm so tired of Andy. Why she even deal with him? I have no clue. Like, Andy needs to let it go. Like, seriously. It's over for Andy and Gary. Like, I don't even understand. So she gets off the phone with Gary after she agrees to meet up with him to waste her time some more. So Danny calls her asking if she's heard from Sabrina. Andy says no. And she's like, well, have you heard from Karen? And Danny's like, no, I haven't heard from Karen. So uh, Danny reveals to Karen that they're investigating Sabrina at the bank. The cop dude that she was talking to revealed to her that they were investigating Sabrina. So she's worried that something happened. So Andy says she's going to look into it and she's going to figure out what could have happened. And Danny's like, why you sound so happy? And she's like, what? I'm always happy. And I'm like, girl, you happy because you about to see Gary old rat face ass. I cannot. My life says that's why I stopped watching. Right. Like he don't never, I'm like, Tyler Perry just doesn't, he don't know how to close a story out. Like everything is Zatima. I feel like whatever is going on in his mind where it comes to that show, he needs to write sisters like Zatima. Like Zatima has a lot of drama, a lot of amazing stuff going on, but you find out what happens in the next, like, it's not something that is long and drawn out. And I can appreciate that about Zatima. That's what keeps me dialed in. But sisters, I be having one foot in and one foot out because I'm just like, this is getting old. I'm so tired of you dragging all this stuff out for season after season and we're not getting any resolve. It's like annoying. But anyway, I'm still watching it now, but we'll see how this go this season. So in the next scene, Aaron comes to the hospital and Pam hadn't even called him yet. So Pam asks if Zach called him and he says no. So she was like, well, you done found your way this far. Go ahead and find her room, Inspector Gadget. So he goes into Karen's room, and Karen is like, "How did you find out I was here?" She was like, "Did Pam call you?" He said, "No." She said, "Well, how do you know that I'm here?" She's more worried about how he figured it out, which I'm pretty sure that doctor that he knows that's at the hospital told him that, you know what I mean, she was there. And I'm pretty sure that doctor has already told him that he's the father of that kid. And that's why he's so in tune with what's going on with this baby. I'm pretty sure that's what's going. I hope that's what's going to end up happening anyway, because I don't want this baby to be Zach's at all. So it just wouldn't progress the story, like it for what. So anyway, Karen is immediately upset again that Aaron is there. Not excited that he's giving her support, but she pissed off to the highest level of pissivity that he's even there and checking on her. So her mom comes in, and well, as she's talking to Aaron, she's like, "Well, did Zach tell you I was here? That's who told you, isn't it?" He was like, "No, Zach didn't tell me anything." He was like, "Oh, Fatima, that's right, because Andy has your phone numbers and she works for Andy. I'm gonna call her right now." So she calls them and calling Fatima all types of bitches on the phone and telling her she need to mind her business and blah whoop whoop whoop. And the whole time Aaron is like, "I didn't tell any of these. None of these people. What are you talking about? None of these people called me. Why does it matter? I'm here to check on you and see how you're doing." So Fatima is instantly pissed because she's like, "So you gonna keep letting this girl call me all types of bitches and all this, that, and the third? Like, you need to check her. I am so sick and tired of her being able to call and do whatever." And Zach is like, "Well, you told me to wait until we figure out if this is my kid and she has the baby, because we're not trying to upset her or whatever." And Fatima's like, "No, no, no." But what she won't do is continue to be disrespectful. That's what she needs to not do. And you need to set her straight. So back at the hospital, Aaron is in there, and then the mom comes in, and she's like, "You ain't here upsetting her. Look at her blood pressure." So she tells Aaron to get out, and she's like, "Well, the doctor is going to be in here in a minute to tell us what's going on." So I don't know what's going on with Karen and why she's so pissed off with Aaron because he love her and want to be with her. I just don't understand this toxic energy. You want to be with Zach so bad, but then you treat him terribly, and you think that he's supposed to just want to be with you. Like, it's so exciting for a woman to be cussing me out all day and treating me like crap. Oh, yeah, give me more. No, he don't want to be with you. He's with a woman that treats him right, loves him, and understands him. Like, why am I coming back to you and your negativity? So anyway, Gary comes over to Andy's house, child. So he notices that she's changed the furniture up. Now, here's my thing. I feel like she changed that furniture because every time Gary used to come over there, he would have flashbacks of seeing Robin and her screwing on the couch. So I think that's why she changed the couch up. I peeped that. But my thing is, if you don't want to be with Gary and you're trying to move on, why are you changing your furniture up for this nigga? Now you put some shears up so that he can't really see into your house anymore, but you're about to give him all of this back. So you wasted all this money on this furniture for what? But anyway, they sit down and go over these old bullshit ass lists that both of them wrote. So he's like, she's like, "Well, here's my list. Read it." And he's like, "Well, yeah, I'm jealous. I'm this, I'm that." And then he's like, "Well, you read mine or whatever." And she's like, "Well, it's not really a lot on here." And he's like, "Because you're perfect. You're perfect, Andy. Like, I know I messed up. Why can't we fix this?" I'm just like, "Girl, how many times is this man going to apologize to you? Like, how many times?" She's like, "Well, you don't want to be with me because you want the house, you want this penthouse, you want the car back. You're more worried about things than being with me. You just want to control me and da 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 da." Yeah, blah blah blah. He wants to control you. How many times are we going to have this scene over and over again? Like, you can't be this dumb. Then he's like, "We can fix it. I know we can." He's like, "Look, I'm getting hard right now. I don't give a damn about your dick getting hard. You can listen. A cold shower will do you good. And don't take it here. You can have it back after I sell it. How about that? When you get your money back." Really? Tyler Perry? Him having a hard dick was supposed to make her, quiver, which obviously it did because he ended up getting the draws. Okay, he over there. He starts taking his clothes off and starts kissing her and going down to Tart Town and giving her some cunnilingus. And there we go. They getting ready to roll in the sack. Moving on. So the doctor comes in and tells Karen her iron is low, her blood pressure is high, and but the bleeding has stopped and the baby is absolutely okay. Which I'm like, she's still pregnant. Oh, like if this was real life, of course I wouldn't feel like that. But I don't want this baby storyline with Karen and them. I just really don't. I can't stand it. So yeah, the baby is fine. They still don't know who the daddy is, and she recommends Karen go on bed rest for a few days because she needs to relax. Moving on. So Zach is trying to make up with Fatima because he trying to GTD, get the draws, and Fatima is not having it. This is the scene where she tells him that he needs to go and handle the situation with Karen because she not about to take no too much more of her talking crazy to her. So Zach says, you know what? You still mad? I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna go talk to her right now. I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna go talk to her. And he was like, and I know you're not going to sleep because you still got your wig and your makeup on. And if you still got it on when I come back, I'm snatching that wig off. I was like, oh my gosh, Zach, really? So then he goes downstairs, puts his shoes on and gets dressed so he can go and talk to Karen at the hospital. And he calls Pam first. So Pam tells him, nope, she's not at the hospital no more. Now she home. So he's upset because he should be getting some trim, but yet he got to go and drive over to Karen's house and let her know about her damn self. So he ain't got to deal with it no more. So moving on. Danny goes to Maurice's house looking for Maurice so he can figure out where in the world is Carmen, Sandy, Sabrina. Okay. So he gets there and Calvin tells her Maurice is at home and he calls Maurice. And of course, Maurice's voicemail comes on because he's in jail too. And I'm like, Calvin, you haven't realized that a correctional facility has been calling you all day? Like y'all haven't put 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 together? Like what? So anyway, Danny reveals to him that her cop friend, was investigating Sabrina and Maurice, and it's some conspiracy that Sabrina must have set up the robbery. Okay. So Calvin was like, that doesn't even make any sense. They wouldn't do anything like that. So he's like, well, I'll keep you posted. They exchange numbers and they say they're going to call each other if they hear anything. So moving on, Zach goes to Karen's house and she's asleep. So her mom, Lisa, answers the door. And she tells him that Karen, has to be on bed rest. She's tired, so he can't be talking to her. Like he can't nobody be upsetting her right now. Don't nobody got time for Zach. Okay. So he's like, listen, I'm not trying to upset her, but when she's not, I got a new lady. I'm in a very happy place. I'm in a relationship. I don't want to be with Karen. She's not listening. I need you to talk to her and basically get her up off my damn back because I don't have time for this. Like, I can't be having her disrespecting my woman like that. So she's like, I'll talk to her, but I mean, what's it to you? Like, why am I talking to her about any of this? And he's like, well, to be honest, I'm not the only one in question about this baby. Like, there's another dude that could possibly be the baby daddy. And she's like, okay, well, whatever. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Like, he's like, well, if I'm the dad, we'll deal with it then. She said, well, you got money, right? So, okay, she'll be good because you got money. And I'm like, listen, they not married. So Karen ain't going to get half his money, Miss Lisa. So I don't know what all of that was about that you just was doing. But okay, sis, Zach, I really hope this baby ain't yours for your own sake, okay? Because you about to be dealing with this forever. So moving on in the last scene, Danny goes to Andy's house and she ride him Gary Cowboy and she riding Gary into the sunset, child. I'm just like, Andy, you got to be the dumbest. Whoo, child. Empty head broad. You are so dumb. Why are you saddling up this dude? He don't even deserve that. It's insane to me. There is no way I would be riding him nowhere. Nowhere. Not even in the car with him, more or less riding his dick. Girl, Tyler, I don't know who these ladies are that you are depicting on camera, but I don't know nobody like these people. Okay, because this is desperation on 1,000. Okay. I'm so tired of Andy. Latasha Hunt says, I'm so tired of Andy. She is the slowest lawyer that I've ever seen. Not the slowest lawyer, child. Mm-mm-mm. But y'all, that's it. I ain't got no more. Sisters, listen, Tyler, close something out. I'm tired of us talking about the same stuff every damn episode. And I'm tired of you introducing these random ass characters that don't have nothing to do with the show. And you're wasting airtime for stuff that we could be resolving and then creating new drama. Like, I don't want to be talking about Andy and Gary anymore. I don't want to be. Now we can get into the Preston and Danny stuff. Hopefully that'll continue. I hope that their relationship does go on. Like Sabrina and Calvin can be done. What's going on with the African guy? Like, is he a part of the sex trafficking stuff? Let's explore this. How are we going to get Sabrina and Maurice out of jail? Who is Karen's baby daddy? Close it up. Put a bow on it. It's just unwrap it, let it go. Okay. I don't. All right, y'all. I can't. This show is starting to get on my damn nerves. But thank y'all for watching. Please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody else that's watching this show too. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can know when I come back on to talk to you. All right, y'all. Peace out.